Greetings, everybody, and welcome to my garage. Right here, what we have in front of us is a 1984 Ferrari 308 GTS. It is the GTS because it has the target top to it and is mostly recognized as the Magnum PI car. And what we're going to be doing with this car is we're going to be changing into an electric beast. So, first things first, about the build, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to make it electric, as I said. We're going to take out the engine, the transmission, the exhaust, and everything that has to go. And we're going to lighten the load by considerably, I would say around 800 pounds by getting rid of all those things. I know that the engine itself weighs about 615 pounds. So that's could be a big weight savings. However, the batteries in itself will probably make up most of that weight difference. So this is going to take place in my garage, and this is actually my first project I'm ever going to try on something like this. And it's going to trade places. That car's going to trade places with my motorcycle and be in that bay. And the engine, the transmission, the exhaust, and all those things, and the wheels will be going up for sale, since I will not be needing any of those things. And here is a walk around of the car out in the sunny open here. And we are located in beautiful Pensacola Beach, Florida. So if there's anybody who might be local, or you're coming to town and you want to check out the build or give me a hand with something or whatever, drop me a line. Okay, so it looks like I got everything on the top here disconnected. Except for the spark plug wires. I'm going to leave those connected just for now. But everything else I think I've got pretty much loosened up here. Not the coolant hoses either, because I don't have anything to put the coolant into yet. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get into the wheel well. I'm going to take the rear tires off, get into the wheel wells here, and start taking the suspension off, because you have to take the suspension out in order to yank the engine. Okay, so here I have the wheel off, and the wheel well is taken out as well. I watched Franny pull this stuff off. I watched the video 2 days ago, and I already forgot how she did it. So I'm going to have to get back on the YouTube and look up Franny, their video on pulling this suspension again, just to brush up before I go get into it. All right, after a couple of hours of persuasion here, I got the suspension taken out. And I'm not sure if I need to remove the axle to get at the engine, get it out yet, but that's something I'm going to have to look into. I'm sure I'm going to have to, but anyway. A couple hours in for the day here, and I think I'm going to call it quits for the night, have some dinner, and go to bed. All right, so with the passenger side, suspension all taken out, is now time to get cracking on the driver's side here in the rear. And if you really want a more in-depth presentation and instructional video of actually how to take this suspension apart, I would steer you over to Heidi and Franny's YouTube page. Their garage, they do have, and I will link to that episode that has to removing this subscription. So check the link down below, and Franny is really good and very informative on getting this whole suspension out of here. Okay, and so there we have it. Both control arms are out, and so is the coilover shock. Now next step would be to disconnect the axles. You can see in there. Get those disconnected, get all the hoses all undone, drain everything out, and then it's time to yank the old engine. Okay, so I got the suspension out of both sides here, out of the rear. So my next step now is to remove here they call it the diaper, and the muffler, the exhaust. So when I get done with that, you'll see what that looks like when it's all finished up. Okay, so in starting to dismantle this stuff, I decided I'm going to keep this. I'm going to keep this exhaust. I'm going to keep the tips on it. I'm going to keep the diaper, just so it just kind of still looks so much stock. Here's a catalytic converter that came out. Be selling this if anybody's interested. And the connector on the other side of this basically disintegrated, so I'm not sure if this sensor would be any good or not, because that doesn't look very good. Okay, well, back to it. Just keep it on trucking. Okay, so here we have it. Front and rear suspension all out of the car. Those coilover shocks will be going up for sale, as well as the brake calipers. All right, so here we go. We're going to get the engine out now. I got it all hooked up. Trying to get a good angle with my tripod on the video camera, but I'm having a hard time.
How about credit to the master mechanic?
Yeah. We'll get there. I'm going to see if I can set it up and get a time-lapse video so you can watch me struggle and try to get this thing out. Okay, well, as you can see, we gave up for now because my mom wanted to go out to dinner. So I'm going to take Mom out to dinner. It's her last day here in Pensacola before she goes back up to Cleveland. So get back at it maybe later tonight or tomorrow. See you soon. Well, that's it. The engine is free. Woohoo! Only took a little bit. We got it. Okay, so that first video took about 6 weeks of time over the weekends and a little bit in the evenings. And the control arms for the suspension are up for powder coating right now. And the bushings are all being replaced on all the control arms for the suspension. And those bushings were really pretty difficult to get. So I had to go to multiple vendors to get them, and I'm still waiting for some to come in the mail. So once I get the control arms back from the powder coat, I'm going to get those bushings replaced. And then after that, I'm going to start doing the putting the suspension back together. And for this suspension, I'll be using the Airex digital air ride suspension system, which is going to be a pretty cool thing, I think. And I'll start putting that video together after I get all the parts back. And I'm figuring maybe starting to record that about 2 weeks from now. And that shouldn't take but a week or two to get in. So I hope you enjoyed this. And thank you to Airex for their sponsorship on this little endeavor of mine. And if you have any comments, questions, put them down below and hit subscribe. And let's see if we can get this thing done together. All right. Thank you.